So I figured today we would change the backdrop a little bit. A little foggy today, so I know you guys don't get to see all the view out there. I could try to bring y'all a little sunshine, but you see it's peeking through. So today, last couple of days or so, I've been listening to a couple different things, kind of focusing on myself and a couple of things in my life that's been going on. And I really started to think about, for a lot of people, kind of what they go through, what they're experiencing. A lot of the time, we look at success as a way to say, okay, yeah, that's how we'll gauge everything. That's how we'll view everything. And that's okay. I think success is a great way to gauge a lot of things in your life. And success can be measured in many different ways. You can look at somebody by what they have material. You could look at somebody by their degrees. You could look at somebody by their friendships around them, relationships, money, whatever. Okay, career, everything. So the biggest problem, though, with all of that is you don't know what somebody has gone through or what that person is like to be able to get to that level. A lot of people you see that aren't even online, who you know to be the most successful people, have been through some of the craziest things or had such a crazy mentality to get there. And I say that because a lot of us don't realize that we all have a dark passenger in our lives. And I use that phrase because it's something I've heard recently, and I think it's super important to understand that that's really what it is. It's a dark passenger. It's a dark mindset. It's a demon. It's whatever you want to look at. That's really what it is. As you do better in life, you will always have demons that try to come back and take you back. Because if you actually do right in the world the correct way, success the correct way, bettering yourself the correct way, you will notice that you will always have these little instances coming back through, whether it's people hitting you back up in your life that shouldn't be. You get those text messages wondering where they came from randomly. You have events that start to kind of restructure your life where you have a job and all of a sudden that job is going to lay you off, or people don't like you there, they want to fire you, whatever. And it may not even be your fault. And now you got to go and look for some other stuff unless you live a certain type of way or you bow down a certain type of way. To succeed in life, truly succeed at the highest level, it does take things that a lot of people are unwilling to do. Now, you can do those things negatively and you can succeed to a point. But the payment that you have to pay back for those, the price it costs, is likely more than you're willing to do. And that's on both ends. If you try to live your life a righteous way or a good way, you will realize that the price you have to pay is letting go of a lot of things that were negative in your life that you thought brought you joy, but really it brought you depression. It brought you feeling down. It brought you less than the best success that you can get. That is important because the dark passengers that are with you, that dark passenger in your life, will always, always try to backseat drive. When your life is doing good and you think that you're weaving in and out of traffic the right way, the traffic of life, all the things that keep trying to come at you that you need to navigate to get to your destination, that dark passenger, he's going to try to backseat drive. He's going to try and grab the wheel. He's going to try and pull that e-brake on you to stop you right in your tracks. They don't want you to succeed. But remember, you are also in control of that. Yes, they can start peeking their head through. Yes, they can start trying to grab you to do things, but it's not an excuse to do bad. It's not an excuse to live wrong. It's not an excuse to be cheating on your girl. It's not an excuse to be a bad friend and not be there for somebody. Regardless of what's going on in your life, always remember to be there. Be there for somebody. It only takes 5 minutes at most to be there for somebody. That little bit of time could mean a difference between them being on this earth or not. So don't ever forget that. But in general, when you look at every single thing that you have to do, you have to realize you are in control. Yes, they might try to come grab that wheel. steer it the right way. Hey, get off. Let's go. Do you understand? It's not about letting those things win. It's not about letting other things take over in your life. It's about recognizing that they're trying to. Because best believe they're going to knock you down a few notches. Right when you think you're living the best life you've ever lived, right when you think you're really, really at that level, you'll notice it'll start pulling you back down. You're going to notice it every time. What it takes mentally, the true hard-nosed mentality to become successful no matter what, is something that so many people don't even understand. It takes a very simple mindset of they're willing to do whatever it takes. Sometimes people will view that as a negative thing, and that's understandable. It's scary to see somebody who's willing to go through the depths of hell, drag through the mud, pick their shit up and get back on the grind. It's scary as hell to see that because they're willing to do anything. But don't think because they're willing to do all of that thing that they're not somebody who is looking for something to help them as well. Sometimes they need help just as much as the next person. Sometimes they need a little bit of somebody just to kind of have their back. Hey, I got you. Let me be there for you. But that's not an excuse for the person succeeding to treat people like shit either. So remember that. You have to do a balance. And I think the hardest part to understand is when you're at a successful person in that range and you have these dark things coming up, you start to kind of try to pile other things on successfully to bury all that. You never take care of it, which erodes at everything else in your life. And then it all comes back full circle that all you had to do was grip that wheel back. So everybody has vices, everybody has problems. It's not bad to have a vice. It's not bad to have something negative. It's bad if you act on it. It's bad if you let it win. That is what's bad. So every time you go to wake up in the morning, you need to sit down and you need to reflect on your life. How we talked about the other day, a little bit of self-reflection. You need to sit down, reflect on your day. This is what I have to do today. These are the things that could come up. All right, let me address it right now. I don't need to entertain any of it. I'm going to keep my mindset. Keep my mindset. You keep pushing, even if it's one small step at a time, you keep pushing. Because all these dark partners and all these dark passengers and all these vices and these negative things, addictions, they're going to come for you. Every day they're coming for you. Most people never experience them at the level that successful people do, because when you're living pretty much average or you're living okay, which is not wrong, but understand that when you're living that way, you're not really going out of the grain. You're kind of right there, which is okay. Listen, I think it's okay to live an okay life. I think it's okay to live an average life. But when I die, I don't want to have to answer for being less than what I was put on this earth to be. I fight to save lives every single day at a capacity that most people in my specific career path never do. I go above and beyond at all times because at the end of the day, a life can never be replaced. The price you pay every day means that you have to put the work in to pay it. Do you understand that? There's no way that your life is just a free thing. It's impossible. You always got to do something. But understand that these dark partners and these dark passengers and these things that come up, they're going to try to bring you back down to an average life where you're not going against the grain. So those days that you want to push hard and you want to act like the next motivator on YouTube and you're like, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that, understand that some of those people, you're not willing to do what they did to get there, and that's okay. You're talking about somebody, maybe their full-time job was grinding for that. They didn't have anything else. Take a piece of it though. Take a piece of what they did. Take a piece of that motivation if that's what helps you. Put it into your life and work a little bit. So a couple hours a day, you can set aside a little bit of time to write down things that you want to change. Every day, write down things and see if you can change it the next day. See if you can change it a week from now. It doesn't matter. Every day, take a second to try to do that. Because if you keep incrementing, increment increasing your life, These little demons and these dark passengers won't be able to do a hard nose on you. They're not going to be able to get a hard turn in on your life. They're going to try, and you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it on your shoulder. You're going to be like, oh man, I feel like something's coming. All right, let me refocus. Let me rethink about it. Because if you think that you're better than what they are on your own without doing anything, you're wrong. And that's how they win. That's how they win. Don't let somebody else take from you what is yours in life. Especially don't let yourself take what's yours from life. You can literally be anything that you want to be, man. And this isn't about motivating you to do that. It's about understanding the limitations that you can put on yourself without ever realizing that these things are pulling you back. Because I know there's so many people who have addictions and problems and dark pasts. You will all pay for that. We all either pay for that in this world or the next. No matter what, man, that payment is coming. And I can promise you, coming from me, I'd say over the last year or two, I have paid prices that I never thought I could actually make. I never thought that I could really, truly pay those payments on a price like that. I don't, man. I really thought that, hey, that might be it. I don't think that I can really make that. I don't think that I can do that. I don't think I can make it through that. For real. I truly wholeheartedly can be honest and tell you that that's what I thought. Until I really started to think about what did I want out of this life. If I was meant to be pushed that hard, to be buried in the ground that far, if I was meant for that, what do I think I'm meant on the upper side? I must be meant for something. But I also need to better myself. I can't keep making the same bad decisions and the bad choices and expect a positive result. It's never going to come. So I had to change a lot of my thinking for myself. Change out how I'm looking at things, change out how I'm acting. Man, I couldn't do the same thing over and over and over and truly wholeheartedly believe that I was going to make a difference because it was never going to happen. Yeah, man, I had to lose a lot of people. I had to sack up, get rid of a lot of people. I had to sack up, get treated like absolute dog shit at my job. It's all right. I know that if I went through the fire right now, on the end, I was going to be forged into something better than what I was before. Because at the end of the day, that's all it is. You go through life, you hit these fires, they're forges. They're forges to forge you into something. But if you get, oh, that's too hot, I'm stepping out. You'll never be forged in anything. All this darkness, all these demons, all these dark passengers, addictions, they're forged in darkness. You get forged by the fire and the light. You will be forged stronger than them. You're going to have to fight for it every day, but you can do it. So no matter what negative thing comes up, don't think that that's the end of it. You might lose something right now. Might not be the time for you right now. It's okay. Slowly but surely. Keep building, and then you get so far, you turn around and you look, oh man, what did I build this whole time? Wow, I can't believe I did that. Small, one brick at a time, one brick at a time. You can be everything, but you have to understand, you have to be willing to lose everything. So keep at it, no matter what.